It seems like nowadays the same few tech companies control our entire lives in the internet, and even in our real lives. We get all of our entertainment, do all of our shopping, and get all of our information from this corporatized version of the internet. It's crazy to think of just one of these big tech companies were to be shut down randomly. It would affect a considerably large amount of people's daily lives. The worst part about it, these corporations don't care about their customer base, rather about the profits they generate. One of these companies is Microsoft. Microsoft is one of the biggest tech giants in the industry and completely dominates the gaming, personal computer, and software industry. In order to fully realize the grasp Microsoft has in the tech industry, we have to look at the history of Microsoft. Microsoft was founded in 1975 when personal computers were nothing but a novelty. Microsoft started making out software for early personal computers, and in 1978 had made over $1 million doing so. In the early 80s, Microsoft had made their own personal computer using the MS-DOS operating system, which was widely successful. At this point, the company was looking promising. In 1985, Microsoft released the Windows operating system with a convenient graphical interface and an easy-to-use features, making Microsoft the biggest personal computer software company. A little over 10 years later, Microsoft released Windows 95, which is even more successful and convenient than the previous operating system. However, in 1998, Microsoft was charged by the US Department of Justice for violating antitrust laws for driving out competition, and eventually reached an agreement with the government restricting Microsoft's business practices. In 2001, Microsoft would dip its toes into the gaming industry with the release of the Xbox. The Xbox was the first gaming console to use PC technology with an internal hard disk drive and a high-speed Ethernet cable. Not only was the console itself a success, but the games, or specifically one game, was a success. I'm sure you all know that Microsoft acquired Bungie and released Halo Combat Evolved, one of the best-selling games of all time, making the Xbox the definitive console. 2005 would be another good year for Microsoft, after the launch of the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 had a lot of good games and revolutionized online gaming and competed with Sony's PlayStation 3 for the first few years, but the console was not really well made and experienced a lot of problems, including the infamous Red Ring of Death, which made about a quarter of all consoles unplayable. Xbox's reputation was about to get worse in 2013 when they released the Xbox One. This console at launch wasn't received well at all, for reasons like the console would require constant internet connection and requiring you to log into a user's account to play used games. The Windows operating system used to be highly regarded and praised, but Microsoft's greed is what eventually ruined it, and Windows 10 was the final straw. Yes, the operating system can be convenient at times, but the Windows as a service mindset from Microsoft is what ultimately spoiled it. Windows 10 heavily emphasizes and promotes paid services and uses scummy advertising tactics, and even going as far as putting ads disguised as tips in the main lock screen, and even in the File Explorer. Windows 10 is also infamous for its massive data collection, collecting user information such as location data, user context, and user inputs to personalize the user experience, which, let's be real, all of that data is being stored and sold for profit. There are many more egregious things about Windows 10, like its terrible update system, downloading installation files without user consent, and violating antitrust laws, but this video would be way too long to mention everything. And don't even get me started on Windows 11. To make things short, Windows 11 has gone through some controversy by having stringent hardware requirements, requiring users to create a Microsoft account to use Windows 11, and requiring an internet connection to set up. Windows 11 heavily encourages customers to buy new Microsoft hardware because you have to buy Windows 10 and then upgrade to Windows 11 or pay for a computer with Windows 11 pre-installed on it. Microsoft isn't exactly the greatest or most consumer-friendly company out there. Yeah, some of the features and products Microsoft has available can be helpful, but you have to remember that Microsoft and other big tech corporations don't care about the customer, but instead only see their user base as a number on a screen that generates money. And the worst part about it is that it isn't easy to escape these companies because pretty much most software, devices, and online services are controlled by them. The most impactful thing you can do to prevent this is to spread awareness and tell others about the dangers of these companies. Whether or not this issue can be resolved is still unseen, but there is still hope that these shady business practices will go away. That's about it for this video. Thanks for watching.